My name is Mary Berryman Agard, and I am the president of the board at the Bayview Foundation. And I came there quite naturally. I live about 2 blocks from the foundation, so the people who live there are my neighbors. So we had a natural relationship that grew over time. I was a volunteer with the Triangle Ethnic Fest, which was at that time an annual festival that was put together by Bayview, and so I got to know the workings of the organization a little better that way. And then my professional work is in nonprofit organizational development and cultural planning. So at a certain point, when I was just working my way, sort of slipping into my retirement, a member of the board at the Bayview Foundation suggested to me that they were about to experience a major leadership transition after many, many years. And he really felt that someone with my skills in organizational development would help them at that time, so I was invited to join the board. Bayview's foundation combines providing affordable housing with community building and the development of cultural voice through arts and education and recreation, and so that was the package that drew me.
Mary, who has purple hair and wears glasses, wears a black top and pants, speaking at a podium, speaking at Bayview's ribbon-cutting event.
All that detail work we did for the first couple of years to be situated, to mount a planning effort and then a capital campaign to raise the money that we needed to raise. That involved board members, but it also involved residents. So when we began planning, we were committed to the notion of design justice, which was the inclusion of the people who lived in Bayview in the decision-making about the design.
A black woman in an orange dress poses with her child in front of her Bayview apartment. This is an old unit with brown bricks and a green lawn in front.
And I spoke to a woman who lived in one of the units who has suffered from very serious depression for her whole life. One of the things the residents asked for in the design was extra large windows and more light in the units. And she talked about the incredible difference living in a space with light had made in her ability to cope and go forward.
In an image are several of Bayview's old apartments and townhouses. They are brown brick with 2 stories. The one in front has a mural of Bayview's logo. An image of Bayview's new apartment units. The building is bright orange with big windows and patios.
We had a resident who had been somewhat isolated from her own family for a while because she didn't have a place to bring her family. Well, the new building has a social space that's available for residents to use for things like that, and the apartments are large enough to have dinner for a number of people and stuff like that. And she was reporting reconnecting with her family, and there are just many, many individual stories like that, but you hear one of those when you've been working on something for a year, and it'll keep you going for another year.
Several children get food at Bayview's Back to School event in front of the new apartment units and a basketball court. In another image, Mary, among many others, cuts a rainbow ribbon smiling at Bayview's ribbon-cutting event.
I started this undertaking just as I was retiring, and I was retiring from advising nonprofit organizations all over the country. And I thought, isn't it about time I took responsibility for one instead of just advising it? And another thing was the period of time that this project spread out for included some years of terrible loss in my family, terrible personal loss of life. And I found out that you can keep going. You can get up every morning if you just have a place to put your love.